In our last video, Yao Lao taught Xiao Yan the Octane Blast, and they officially kicked off his intense cultivation. But here's the problem, Xiao Yan has already burned through the foundation building elixir that was supposed to last him to 4 months. To make matters worse, his pockets are looking pretty empty. With no money left to buy more ingredients, he's forced to pivot. He asks Yao Lao to refine a slightly lower grade batch of foundation building elixir, planning to sell it at an auction to stack some cash. Today's story begins as Xiao Yan disguises himself and heads toward the most famous trading hub in the city, the Mitre Auction House. Hey everyone, it's HKD. In today's video, I'm continuing our deep dive into the original Battle Through the Heavens novel to cover all the epic parts the anime skipped. I'm here to fill in those gaps and give you the full, uncut story of the Battle Through the Heavens universe. The anime writers skipped the next part of the story to rush the plot, so I'll be using the manhwa version to walk you through it. This way, you won't miss even one detail from the original novel. Xiao Yan successfully gathered all the medical ingredients needed for the foundation building elixir. He then found a quiet inn to settle in, where he asked Yao Lao to step up and help him with refining the pills. To keep his identity a total secret, Xiao Yan covered himself in a heavy cloak, hiding both his face and his true build. Since he had to stay quiet for now, Yao Lao would be the one to step up and handle all the talking. The receptionist couldn't tell if the foundation building elixir Xiao Yan wanted to auction was the real deal, so they called for Xun'er to do an appraisal. The receptionist introduced Xun'er as a 2-tier alchemist and a 3-tier doer. When Xun'er saw that Xiao Yan was there to auction a pill, he couldn't help but wonder if this mysterious guy was also an alchemist himself. Xun'er took a sniff of the foundation building elixir's aroma, and immediately confirmed it reached the standards of a tier 2 alchemical pill. Xiao Yan didn't want to wait and asked for the earliest possible auction slot. Xun'er directed him to the number 1 auction house, where a session just happened to be in progress. Xun'er wondered to himself when a 2-tier alchemist had suddenly appeared in Wutan City. He sternly warned the receptionist to make sure Xiao Yan had a great experience at the Mitre Auction House. His main rule: whatever you do, don't offend him. Inside the auction house, the clan leaders of Wutan City's 3 major families all showed up at the same time. Xiao Yan quickly figured that there must be something big coming up for auction to grab the attention of all these big shots. Then, the crowd went wild as Yafei, the highly popular middle auctioneer in Wutan City, finally made her entrance. The crowd didn't even try to hide their obsession with Yafei. Meanwhile, Yafei's attention was drawn to Xiao Yan, whose mysterious vibe definitely sparked her interest. Yafei kicked off the auction with the first item. Holding the foundation building elixir, she introduced it as a game changer that could boost the doujie cultivation speed for anyone below the level of a doju. The audience was completely blown away, finding it magical that something could actually speed up the cultivation of doujie. In everyone's mind, cultivating doujie is a slow, step-by-step grind. Plus, they all know the body is just too fragile at that stage to handle the power of an alchemical pill. Even Xiao Yan's father, Xiao Zhan, was intrigued. In his mind, his son was still stuck at 3 stages of doujie. Ever since the humiliating breakup with Nolan Yanran 2 months ago, Xiao Yan had been avoiding him, so Xiao Zhan had no idea his son had already bounced back to 5 stages of doujie. Thinking this elixir might be exactly what Xiao Yan needs, Xiao Zhan decided to get in on the bidding. Yafei assured everyone that the foundation building elixir was personally appraised by Master Xun'er of the Mitre Auction House, so it was the real deal. She set the starting price at 8,000 gold coins and kicked off the bidding. Hiding under his cloak, Xiao Yan couldn't help but smirk, knowing he was about to make a massive profit. Since the ingredients for refining this foundation building elixir only cost him a little over 1,000 gold coins, Xiao Yan realized the profit from this single auction would be enough to fund his cultivation for a very long time. Yao Lao said with pride that in the entire GMO Empire, he is the only one who can refine the foundation building elixir. Xiao Yan just nodded along, saying, yeah, it's definitely going to sell for a killer price. While everyone else was busy upping the bit by bit, Xiao Yan decided to shut them down by jumping straight to 40,000 gold coins. Xiao Yan's price tag completely stunned the entire room. The clan leaders of the other two clans didn't want to waste any more cash on the foundation building elixir, so they backed out. Seeing that no one else was going to bid, Yao Fei officially announced that the foundation building elixir was sold to Xiao Yan. Jalebi said with a nasty grin that throwing down 40,000 gold coins in one go was a massive flex by Xiao Yan. Hidden under his cloak, Xiao Yan felt a wave of guilt hitting him. He knew perfectly well that the only reason his father bought the foundation building elixir was for him. Yao Lao reminded Xiao Yan that since his item was sold, it was time to grab the cash and get out of there. But Xiao Yan refused to leave, saying that since the clan leaders of the three major clans were all here, there had to be some real treasure coming up for auction. An hour later, Xiao Yan was starting to get bored from all the waiting. But then, Yao Fei suddenly announced that they had finally reached the very last treasure of the auction. Yao Fei introduced the final item, the wind roll technique, a Xun'er class high-grade G method. Xiao Yan was stunned, realizing that this was actually a Xun'er class high-grade G method. Yao Lao just shrugged it off, complaining that a Xun'er class high-grade G method was nothing special. But for Xiao Yan, it was a big deal. The best technique in his entire clan was only Xun'er class medium grade, and this was his first time ever seeing a high-grade one. Yao Lao told him to just focus on his cultivation, promising that once he officially becomes a doju, he'll show him what a real high-level G method looks like. Yao Fei explained that the wind roll technique was discovered in the mountains by a hunter, making it an unknown item that was safe for anyone to bid on. She set the starting price at 200,000 gold coins. Elbapa was just about to place his bid, but Jalebi completely shut him down by jumping straight to 400,000 gold coins. Jalebi even mocked him, saying, "Humph, if you're broke, stay out of this." Jalebi suddenly stood up and arrogantly shouted that he was taking this technique home no matter what, daring anyone to try and outbid him. The rest of the crowd immediately went silent, too intimidated to place a bid. After all, the Jelly clan is one of the three major clans in Wutan City. Others were intimidated by Jalebi, but Xiao Yan didn't flinch. He jumped in with a bid of 410,000. Furious, Jalebi snapped, "Xiao Yan, are you seriously trying to challenge me right now?" Xiao Yan laughed and said, "Jalebi, your clan only has the Xun'er class low-grade G method. You're trying to use this chance to turn things around, but do you really think I'm just going to let that happen?" Both the Abba clan and the Sha clan already possess Xun'er class medium-grade G methods, while the Jali clan is stuck with only a Xun'er class low-grade one. Because of this, Jalebi is dead set on winning the wind roll technique at any cost. Jalebi declared that no one has ever been able to snatch away something he set his eyes on, so he bumped the bid to 430,000. Xiao Yan just smiled and countered with 450,000, mocking him by saying, "That's only because you haven't dealt with me." The two of them kept going back and forth, each bit higher than the last. Finally, in a total rage, Jalebi shouted, 550,000, I'm going all in against you. Jalebi was so enraged, he was practically losing his mind. He barked at Xiao Yan, "Go on, keep bidding. I don't care if we both go down today, I'm seeing this through to the bitter end." Xiao Yan gave him a look of pure contempt and laughed. "I was just messing around and tossing out a few bids for fun," he said. "You actually took me seriously. Fine, you win, the item is yours." Jalebi was so fuming with rage that he was literally speechless. Hidden under his cloak, Xiao Yan burst out laughing. His father had intentionally driven up the price, tricking Jalebi into wasting an extra 100,000 gold coins. It was a legendary move. Jalebi was so blinded by rage that he lost all logic. He screamed, "Xiao Yan, you dare play me, this isn't over." As he yelled, Dochi began to surge in his hands, looking like he was ready to start a massive brawl right then and there. But Yao Fei stepped in with a cold warning, reminding Jalebi that the Mitre auction house was the territory of the Mitao clan, and he'd better watch his step. Jalebi had no choice but to swallow his rage. After all, the Meteor clan is a powerhouse with an elite Do One on their side, and they're definitely someone he can't afford to mess with. In the original story, Jollibee was definitely furious, but he wasn't that impulsive. He didn't lose his cool or try to start a fight right there. Instead, he kept his rage hidden behind the dark expression, likely already planning how to get back at the Xiao clan later. Xiao Yan and Abapa offered their congratulations to Jollibee with nasty smiles on their faces. Having no other choice, Jollibee dropped a final threat: Xiao Yan, Abapa, you to better watch your backs. Xiao Yan also headed out of the auction house, making a silent vow to himself. Once he had the cash in hand, he was going to double down on his cultivation. He was determined to give his father a massive surprise in 1 year. Xiao Yan has less than 1 year left before the clan's coming-of-age ceremony. As long as he reaches 7 stages of Doji by then, he'll be allowed to stay in Wutan City. Right now, he has already recovered to 5 stages of Doji. In the next episode, Xiao Yan returns for the money, but will his secret be exposed? Alright, that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please give it a thumbs up, it honestly helps the channel so much. I'm HKD, and I'll be back with even more exclusive content from the Battle Through the Heavens novel that the anime skipped. If you want to dive deeper into the lore, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.